But of course, it might just be that we need to defeat Aghanim or pull the pedestal. And we start right off with 3 runners at Sanctuary and Hitsuyan at Link's house, who finds the red boomerang, while the Sanctuary chest holds 20 rupees. And we saw a map check really fast there. I think it was 3 crystals. I'm not entirely certain on Desert, but Hera... Oh, it was a red crystal in Desert. Okay.
Yes, Desert is our red crystal. Eastern and Tower of Hera are also crystals. And 40 arrows out of the tree pool. That'll be nice when they find the bow, but who knows when that'll be.
Yeah, the bow can, at this moment, be just about anywhere.
And bombs from the bush crab, so we'll be set for Kakariko when we head
yeah,
over.
Yeah, that is very comfy. And are we gonna see a lumberjack check here from PKR? Yes, we are. And for Karis as well, for that matter. And Gamerkel as well. I couldn't spot it what it was.
That was 300
rupees. It was rupees. Okay.
And Hitsuyan did the uncle drop and found the powder over there. It's a nice safety to have early on.
Yeah. Plus a heart container, also very nice. Always good to find a little bit of health at the start of the run.
Speaking of finding a little bit of health.
Oh, there's a heart container lying in the woods.
Can we just take a moment to talk about the sync from Gamer Cow and Pink Kitty Rose?
Well, not as synced anymore because one entered through the left and the other from the top. 50 rupees is here down in the hideout.
And we're heading into Kakariko. Even though they only have 70 rupees, the back of Blind's hut does have 30 rupees back there, so there will be enough to get the to check the bottle vendor.
Even if we don't get any other money out of any of the other chests out of the well or Blind's hut, which is unlikely. It's possible, but unlikely. And luckily, with so many bombs, it's gonna be not a big problem here.
Well, only 3 of our runners have bombs. Hitsuyan is going to be happy to find that 3 bomb drop because...
Oh, yeah. Right, Hitsuyan did not do the bush crab, that's right. Finds another 3 bombs in the tavern, and that's very good. Because that means we can clear out Kakariko with just the bombs that we find here, so Hitsuyan does not have to stress out about anything.
And there's a lamp over in the chicken hut. But yeah, if Hitsuyan had to buy bombs, that could potentially cause a problem. And Gamer Cow missed the bomb.
Oof. Yeah, that just a bit to the left. Blue mail down in the well, the bombable chest here. So that's a nice safety right at the start already.
Yeah, but I'm more hyped about that hook shot.
That hook shot is also very nice.
And we're not seeing Silverless Ganon tonight.
That's the ball wender. That's 100 rupees well spent, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Right, and of course Hitsuyan, having done a different routing between the tavern first and going into the well, gonna have to do Blind's hut as the last section here. While everybody else is gonna go down to the library after clearing out the bombs in the tavern.
Now, even though that hook shot is a nice find, we have not actually found any further progression outside of all these starting locations, so they still need to find something.
That is true, and of course, with the lamp, Aghanim certainly is still very much on the table. And PKR decides to go blindly for for the race game, which might actually pay off because I think I saw a medallion up there.
You saw Quake back there.
It was Quake. Okay, well that might come in handy. We of course, don't know whether Tiara or Misery Maya will need the Quake medallion, but having it, that's already 1/3 down of the medallions.
Personally, I like seeing Bombos, just because even if you don't need the medallion for Mire or Turtle Rock, you still might need it for Ice Palace because Fire Rod could be an Ice Palace.
That is true, yeah. Personally, I don't like finding Bombos. Bombos is my least favorite item because, as you said, it could hint towards Ice Palace needing Bombos to clear, and I really hate how much time casting it wastes.
Now, on our right side, Pink Kitty Rose and Dracaris. This is kind of interesting. They're going straight to Mini Moldorm Cave, and they are skipping the dam for right now.
That is probably because both PKR and Dracaris like doing Agina very early on, and they're gonna go to the dam and then to Agina, I assume.
There is quite a bit of merit to that play, actually. You're orphaning Ice Rod Cave compared to Agina's Cave, which Ice Rod Cave usually has a hint. And
they are going to Ice Rod after Mini Moldorm, and then they reset to Link's house, and then go Dam Agina. Is what I meant to say.
That's interesting too.
Yeah. And we get a fairy there as a possible drop, which might come in handy. And so far, not really anything good.
Yeah. And the other slight problem with going over to South Shore, going over to Ice Rod Cave right now, they do not have 500 rupees, so Fake Flipper for Zora is not an option. And they have no way to water walk into the Waterfall of Wishing, so that's another 2 items that they are unable to get after Ice Rod Cave. So it's still smart to route everything together. It's just unfortunate that they don't have everything they need to do the usual full check.
Mm. And we see some arrows on the island. And looks like Dracaris is actually going to go for Eastern area first. So Hashira's Closet having 3 items. And probably... Well, not probably, but possibly dipping into Eastern.
So as of right now, our progression is either in Sashara's Closet, over in Eastern Palace, or Agina's Cave.
Indeed, and as more item locations... Oh, and Swamp Palace is the green pendant. Dracaris talking to Sahasrara there to get that info. But yeah, as more and more item locations get whittled down... oh yeah, the escape sequence. We haven't seen that from anybody else yet. Might be that GamerCal decides to check that. Dracaris apparently is going to dip into Eastern here, and very interesting diversion here from the various runners. It might be that both PKR and Dracaris are going to save the escape for last, in the hopes of combining it with Aghanim should Aghanim be required. And it's looking somewhat likely that that might be the case.
Yeah, there is an interesting little logic point to Hyrule Castle, in that outside the first chest going down and the Dark Cross chest, I believe that you need gloves to be in sequence on that. I might be wrong on that though.
I'm actually not sure either about the logic, if it assumes that you have to get gloves for the back of the escape or not, but yeah. Also weird, despite not having a bomb start standard mode here, we are going to see bomb spreads because we haven't actually found any other weapons yet. The hookshot only stuns the guards.
Makes it easier to set them up the bomb though. And we've got red mail over in Eastern Palace.
Right, so it looks like PKR is also going to go for escape, and knowing what we know, that Sasoro's hut doesn't have anything, and well, we've seen one of the two items of Eastern, and while the red mail is nice, no doubt, it doesn't help us progress, so...
Yeah, red mail with 5 hearts. It would be a lot better if they had Dark World access, but you're still not going to shake your head at it.
Yeah. Also, of course, to note here is that for Aghanim to be actually in logic, we need at least one sword and the cape, and either a cape or the second sword to get through the barrier. So that is also something to note. If we find a cape or 2 swords, that is heavily hinting towards Aghanim.
Right, now, Pink Kitty Rose is doing a nice little tech over here, and this is why I question why I say gloves might affect the logic here, because Pink Kitty Rose has taken the key from the front and is going straight to the back to ensure that they're not key locked.
And as it happens, that might be the case actually for because we haven't found a key. There's only one more chest where the key could be, and PKR is setting up a death warp here as well.
But progression was in Eastern. We found the gloves over there in the vanilla big key chest.
All right, 300 rupees here in the Dark Cross room, which means that GamerCal cannot access the back of escape until they find the gloves in Eastern. And well, very much a relief that we found something here in Eastern. The back of escape, meanwhile, holds a sword, rupees, and that key that we were looking for.
So, finding that sword, we've got a 12-minute sword. Pretty early if you made the if you make the right routing to get to it.
Yeah. What's also to note is that with the Lamp of the Glove, we can now go check out Death Mountain, as that is in logic, and thanks to the hookshot, we even can check out the eastern side as well.
Yeah, with that hookshot, we've got 1, 2 plus 7. We've got 10 items in logic up on Death Mountain right now.
Yeah. And of course the hint in Spectral Rock as well. And the hint in the base, or the ground floor of Tower Fair as well. So, 2 hints that... Oh no, actually we can't get to Tower Fair yet. I forgot. We don't have Hammer or Mirror yet. So, we can only access the eastern side and like the lower part, but not the part where it's Tower Fair.
Yeah, but you're not going to argue with 10 chests.
Oh, of course not. Obviously, like, Drakar is immediately making a beeline for Death Mountain as well. And let's see what the old man holds for us, while the other runners are retracing each other's steps here. Ooh, almost got deadlocked there. Oh, hello there, Flute. How are you doing? Well, that definitely paid off. But while the Flute is a great mobility item, it doesn't really help us just yet.
Yeah, there's got to be something else up here.
Yeah, we'll either find a cape or a Master Sword if the logic wants us to beat Aghanim to get to the Dark World. With that said, the Moon Pearl would also be needed, but it can lie on the pyramid. And of course, the hammer and the moon pearl for Dark Will access, or the mitts and the pearl. Either way.
So we got a heart container in Mimic Cave, and we got a heart container in Ganon's castle.
Oh, good. Right, so Dracarys will jump down the ledge here and make their way to the eastern side.
Yeah, Dracarys got the bomb jump across that extra wide gap. I believe it's only possible to jump that far in that cave because of the wall.
I think that is correct. Yeah. Right, on to Paradox Cave. Let's see what we have there. And we're probably also gonna see a short check of what's on the floating island after that. And then probably the Walk of Shame for Spiral Cave. Oh, and there's the cave.
Oh, that's Aga access.
That is Aghanim in full logic now. We have a sword to cut the curtain. We have a bug nets to swag strat him, and we have a cape to get to the barrier. Yeesh.
There's a moon pearl. Okay, there's a hammer.
Oof. Wow. Okay, that was the ultimate fake out there. Game like basically saying, so you gotta do Aghanim, and then luckily we found the hammer and the moon pearl, so we don't have to do Aghanim at all, actually. As we also know that the Lumberjack Cave doesn't have anything for us either.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, wouldn't it be rude if we had all these movement options and still had to fight the wizard?
Yeah. Well, at the very least, like beating Aghanim gives you that portal on Hyrule Castle, which does make some things a bit faster. Like, say, if you want to deliver to the bomb to the Pyramid Fairy. Bombs on the floating island, we're not gonna get those. And we're gonna see what... We're not gonna see what is in Spiral Cave, because Dracarys is gonna make his way to Eastern.
Yeah, we got a hammer.
Yeah, we got the hammer, and probably gonna check the Spiral Cave after checking Hera. And since it's a crystal, we can expect this to be a full clear. Big key down here, so that means at least for that, we don't need to go to the basement. There might still be an item in there, though. Tower of Hera has 2 items, and, well, just a rubbish hint.
That'd be nice if, say, the second hint tile that's coming up says, like, there's some cash in the basement.
Yeah, that would be swell. And oof, Dracarys is taking a short fall there. Luckily, you dropped down right next to the door, so not much time lost here.
And the enemies are already dead.
Yeah, they stay dead unless you either re-enter the dungeon or mirror. Or die, of course.
Now, Gamer Cal over on his end for Spectral Rock, he's not dropping down for that tile. He just checked the item, saw it was nothing, and he's going on.
Well, luckily we know that the hint is not very useful, so not much of a problem here. Dracarys is going to set up the bomb jump across the gap to get the big chest. Just finds the compass here, which means the last item is either on Moldorm or the basement chest. And depending on what we get from Moldorm, either the item or the map. We'll see if anybody has to make the play into the basement.
Well, we did find some more useful information. The boots are hammer locked. And speaking of hammers, that was a nice hammer kill from Dracarys. Unfortunately, bad news. Last item's in the basement.
Ooh. Finau, we don't know where the boots are exactly. We just know that they are hammerlocked because we saw a hint in the big chest room in Tauhera. That's how we know that they're hammerlocked. Yeah, it's so hammerlock can be the hammer packs, the hammer locked locations in pod, or ice, or I think Spike Cave also counts as hammerlock. You know, stuff like that where see some big chests, things that are hammerlock for sure.
One thing to note, Turtle Rock is not hammerlocked because the hints account for every mode, and since inverted is a thing, you can get into Turtle Rock without the hammer.
Meanwhile, Hitsuyan is going to make the play for the item in the basement, is setting up a death warp here in the towel room.
And Dracarys now has a goose.
And it was just a heart container. And it was the sand card on top of that. Oh no! That is the worst opportunity to get that one.
Rip Death Warp.
Poor Hitsuyan. That is just absolutely rude from the game there. And we're gonna see PKR on PKR's side. Gonna see that was the Spiral Cave had only a piece of heart and ice. We saw a short map check of the Dark World there on Dracarys' side. I saw a red crystal on Pod, a pendant on TR, and I think a blue crystal on Ice Palace. And
I thought I saw a pendant on Skull Woods, actually.
Right. Well, we know that the green pendant is Swamp, and I definitely saw the red pendant on TR. It looks like Hitsuyan is going to take that hint to heart and use that tape as well, as the hook shot, to get that item in Spike Cave.
Yeah, I've heard an old saying, there's never a good time to check Spike Cave, just a not terrible time.
Yeah. And turns out it was a bust anyway.
That bottle might be important. We have not seen a bottle yet.
That is true. And even though I think it contains a bee, yeah, it's it might still come in handy. And
Gamer Cow's finding out that boomerang is just not long enough.
Yeah. And opts to go downstairs to hit the switch. Let's see if they go for the... No, okay. They do not gamble for the towel room. Even though the second item is in there, as we know. Also, for the hint tiles, there are some nonsense hints in there. And they are denoted by the green text and the little link face at the end. Right, so Dracarys is going to make the play for Thieves Town. 4 items. And a crystal, so...
And with the hammer, they can check the big chest, so they're not going to leave anything behind.
Exactly.
And we get a much clearer map check from Hitsuyan. So we have pendants on Skull Woods and Turtle Rock. We've got the green pendant on Swamp Palace, and Palace of Darkness is our other 5/6 crystal.
Exactly. Oh, and Gamercal gets knocked off there by Moldorm. Always, it happens to the best runners. Sometimes Moldorm just gives you such a terrible pattern that you get hit, no matter what you do.
Hey, we got a second sword on Dracarys' side.
That's a relief. Master Sword is already like a very good upgrade over the Fighter Sword. Obviously, the runners will want to have the Tempered Sword, but Master Sword is always like it's relieving to have it because having to fight bosses with Fighter Sword, which not only does less damage but also is shorter. Yeah, it's good.
Now, Hixion found Ether over in Skullwoods, and Gamercal unfortunately falling into that center hole, so he went down 2 floors.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they...
Go ahead.
It'd be nice if they had that Master Sword so they could do spins and not have to rely on Hammer for this.
Yeah. Oh, another fall for Gamercal there. That's painful. A lot of time lost there. Bombos requires a bomb. Thanks, game. That's actually a pretty funnily worded hint there. But yeah, like the worst pattern that Moldorm can do is if he like spawn camps the little cliff down onto the arena and bounces you right back up when you try to jump down.
Now, Gamercal's resorted to sword strats. The problem with the Fighter Sword is, even if you do slashes or spins, it takes 6 hits. But realizing that he got the hammer on the last hit and avoided speed form.
Yeah. When Moldorm has only 1 hit left, he will go into a frenzy and start being really fast and counting the damage they did. Gamercal used the hammer to defeat Moldorm there with the last hit.
I believe we had a silver arrow. I mean, not a silver arrow. A single arrow sighting.
Yeah, I was in the Sea House.
And PKR is going to give us our first look at Hype Cave.
Well, let's see if it lives up to its name today, or if it's gonna be a tribe cave, as it usually is.
Sword, I mean, shield, no.
Oh,
Bombos.
there's that bomb.
Titans.
Oh, and the mitts. That is also very relieving. Yeah, so we have the mitts. We can lift things. And we also know where all 3 medallions are. So that is also very good. They're all easily accessible for the runners. So those are not going to be a troll item this run. And PK are making their way through the Southern Dark World here. Going to check Stumpy, Dick Game, and then probably going to Thiefstown from the southern end of Village of Outcasts. Meanwhile, Dracarys is the first to defeat the Blind, picking up their second crystal.
Also of note, even though we're just going a half hour in, I believe with that pendant lineup, we've already killed the Ped.
Well, let's see. TR, Skullwoods, Compass.
No, there's one possible thing, the bow, but how often do we
The
actually
bow-
see that?
The bow and the boots can be on Ped.
All rise, Gamercal has released the geese.
And with that, and each runner has their flute, which is also, of course, relieving a lot of mobility for them. So that's good.
And it looks like we're already going to see a Smith chain from Pink Kitty Rose.
But yeah, without the mirror, a bit of a pain. And PKR decides to make a Maya check and checkerboard cave check, probably. Meanwhile, we see the dick game here on Dracarys' side.
There's no mirror to check checkerboard cave, but it's...
Oh yeah, right. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that no mirror. That's right. Usually you have the mirror by this time, so... Oh, and there's the King of Samaya right next to the Mire. That's good. A lot of items that are not really like in out of the way checks at this point.
Hey, you know what would have made that red cane even better?
If it was the blue cane?
If Pink Kitty Rose had checked Skull Woods first and gotten that ether.
Oh, did you? Was either the Maya medallion?
Ether was the Meyer medallion.
Ah, right. Well, that is unfortunate because then PKR could have cleared Meyer, but delivering the Smith here. Right, and we see that the Pyramid Fairy has nothing. She only has a bottle and bombs, as far as I've seen correctly. You know, it's the Swamp Palace in here.
Smith's having $20 and looks like a Mad Bat check as well.
Yeah, you have the hammer. You're already here. Might as well.
Hitzion just took down Blind, and there's another shield.
And a heart from the bat. Meanwhile, Dracarys about to get their bombos and mitts. They're going to be happy about that.
So right now we've got Dracarys and Hitzion both with Blind down. Pink Kitty Rose, Gamer Cow going through their village of Outcat. Whoa, where's Pink Kitty Rose going?
That is a good question. Dark Death Mountain?
Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave, Super Funny Cave. Check the Turtle Rock Medallion, and if the tracker is correct, did Pink Kitty Rose defeat Moldorm? I thought she did.
No, that was Dracar. That was. Wait.
I thought everybody went
so.
to Hera. I'm actually not sure now.
I'm sure we'll find out shortly when Pink Kitty Rose does goes through the menu. And Dracarys is also up on Death Mountain.
Yeah, well, but Dracarys it probably pays off a bit more because there's, out of their perspective, it's 6 items up here. Plus, you get to both open up the portal and Turtle Rock. So. And also the hint, of course, for Turtle Rock. And it's Quake for TR, so we have vanilla medallions.
VTorp, is this even randomized? By the way, things have gone strong. Yes.
What?
So, how are you expected to get there without the Moon Pearl?
That is a very, very good that is a very good hint. Yep. And looks like Turtle Rock is Fire Rod locked because there is no key in the spike room here. Another bottle here in Hookshot Cave.
And speaking of VTorp,
yeah. Yes, we do know what the Mire Medallion is. It is Ether.
so Hitzion getting his Titan's mitts. I believe Gamer Cal's the only one of the 4 without Titan's mitts right now.
That is correct, yeah. Gamer Cal has not gone to Hype Cave yet. But presumably after clearing PT here, they probably will. So those falls to Moldorm definitely making themselves noticeable here.
Yeah, Moldorm can be a great equalizer. If you have a bad day, that's not the place you want to have a bad day. And Dracarys checking Sick Kid, getting his $50.
Looks like most of the progression was just, you know, either in high density item locations or basically on the way so far.
And Dracarys is getting potions. This is looking like an Ice Palace play considering he flew to 8 earlier.
Yeah. Usage for bombos, yeah. They're probably going to fake flipper, maybe make the water checks while they're at it, and then go for Ice Palace.
Yeah, with Swamp Palace being a pendant, it's possible that the flippers are, even though logically required for this, it's possible they're not actually required.
Yeah. It looks like they're going straight for Ice Palace instead. Let's see what the hint is. Another green hint.
Hey, it's really good to know how to kill Goma.
It's the wrong game!
Fair.
Right, and Gamer Cal here taking on Blind.
Oh, Blind's taking him a task, it looks like.
Yeah. And it looks like PKR is making exactly the same play as Dracarys and going for Ice Palace here.
And the cape is coming into use.
Ooh, yeah, this was a clutch fight here.
So Blind, if it gets away from you, it is a trip and a half.
Yeah, especially once you're in the later phases, when both of the other heads are flying about in the last phase, and you also have to dodge actual Blind shooting at you. Something is Something is above the pose.
Something sharp. There's a sword at the graveyard ledge.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're gonna see Slowpacks here in Hitsuyan's side, while Dracarys is setting up for the bomb jump.
Aren't the pegs hammer blocked?
Yes.
And there's the boots.
Oh, there are the boots, and PKR missed those because PKR did not. Although they picked up the blacksmith, since they had to go through the full the save and quit to the light world route, and haven't picked up the purple chest yet. They missed out on the hammer packs, and as such do not have boots yet.
If you're a fan of Pink Kitty Rose, you do not want to see a big key on the torch in Desert or a big key on the torch in Ganon's Tower, because odds are that is not going to get checked.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because PKR still has the purple chest open as well, so that would be 2 items.
But if there's dungeon progression, there's a hint saying there's nothing in the purple chest, because there is a hint specifically for it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, yeah.
And we got a unique item on left side swamp.
Yeah, that is something you don't want to read ever.
Especially considering it's pendant.
Yeah. And Gamer Cal here, the last one to pick up their mitts.
So Hitzion throwing in the bottle, about to get his 20 bucks from the Smiths, 50 bucks from Sick Kid, and we're going to be getting to the end of Ice Palace really soon for Pink Kitty Rose and Dracarys.
Yeah. That's also not going to be a very easy fight because they have to use bombs to break the shell, and then they can't rely on the Fire Rod to do a lot of damage. So they're going to have to either use the Master Sword or the hammers, both of which not very fun to use on Cold Stare.
Oh, there's half magic though. That's really nice to find.
Yeah, that's a good item. I always like half magic.
Now for Pink Kitty Rose, this fight's going to be even more difficult because they're only on Fighter Sword. I don't think you can hurt Cold Stare with slashes from the Fighter Sword.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. PKR never did go into Peacedown. So they did not pick up the Master Sword. That's true, yeah. And we know where the third sword is, which means that only one sword is a mystery just yet. It's not in Ice Palace, though. That much is certain. At least not before Cold Stare, rather.
Now, Hitzion is heading over into the Mire area with the medallion, with everything. Well, will have everything needed to clear it. So the question is, does he go straight in?
That is a good question, yeah. And Dracarys is going to use the hammer here on Cold Stare, which, you know, it makes sense because it does tempered sword damage, I think. Not sure if it does on Cold Stare, but...
Yeah, Dracarys getting that opening spin and then going to the hammer.
Swapping over to Cape. Since they have half magic, it makes a lot of sense to use the Cape, get some more damage with the Master Sword in, before you use the bottle to restore your health.
I might be able to get him down while this Cape is still running.
Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah. And down Cold Stare goes here on Dracarys' side. Meanwhile, indeed, Hitzion going to make the play into Mire. There's 2 items in here.
That was an Ice Rod on Cold Stare.
Oh, so... What does that mean?
It means we're still Fire Rod locked out of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, good. Go away, Turtle Rock. Nobody likes you. Yeah, and of course, not having access to the Cape strats because Fighter Sword on Cold Stare not that good. PKR has to rely on Hammer, and not getting hit manages to actually do pretty well here. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, each segment of Cold Stare takes 8 hits from the hammer.
And there's the mirror in Mire.
That's a good place for it. Now they can go to Desert Palace.
Yeah, they can do Checkerboard Cave and tie it right into Desert Palace, and they can full clear Desert Palace. Except, well, Hitzion can. Everybody else can't because nobody has picked up their boots from the Hammer Fags yet. Of course, that is if it is boot slot, which it might just be.
It looks like Dracarys is also going to make the Mire play.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There's not really much they can do otherwise. The other option would be Pod. And without a bow, it's it's not really that appealing.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. Although you could check the first chest, see if there's and maybe get locked out right from the start.
Yeah, but you still have to like loot to 5, go there, pay off Kiki, have him open the door. It's I mean, they have the means to clear Maya right now, so you know, might as well. It's not really any time lost here. And since it's not a god Maya either. Right, so Hitsuyan making their way to Vitreous. Meanwhile, PKR finally will be getting their Master Sword. Probably will be not very happy about finding that early on. They could have had a much easier time going through Ice Palace.
Now, one thing I'll say about this, Meyer, we're still on Master Sword without a bow. So Vitreous might be a little interesting, especially in Dracarys' case since he's only on 7 hearts.
Yeah. So you some of them, I don't know if all of them are gonna do it, but somebody of them might do bombs on the small ice. I mean, they only have up to 10 bombs depending on how many they use. But some, like, you can get a little bit of damage there in with the bombs, and then swap over to Cape to just stand in the goop and slash at the ice. And once that is out, Hammer is the preferred strat. And of course, since Dracarys has half magic, the Cape strat is going to be a lot more appealing as well. It's going to be, I would actually argue Hitsuyan might have a harder time, even though they have more life, because they can't rely as much on the Cape.
I will say Cape dash strats are really nice, but Cape's been working just as well. And we got a purple chest check from Gamer Cow, but it was only a big 20.
Yeah. And so chat pointing out that everybody could do a potion glitch. While that is true, the bow is one of the last few items we're missing, and if Pod is bow locked, you know that like the 5 items in there, you know, the only item that can be in there at that point is the fire rod.
And even then, unless the Ganon's Tower big key is on the right side, we might not need the fire rod.
That's true. So technically, fire rod isn't even a go mode item. Our bow is our go mode item this run.
Yeah, Hitsuyan is possibly just a bow from go mode. Dracarys as well.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see if Desert is boots locked this time. Oh. Yes, it is. That is very painful for the both runners on the stream that do not have the boots yet, because they are on the hammer pad.
Also, thanks for the redundant hint game.
Oh, there's the flippers. That's one of the 2 items in Desert Gear.
That's something that you possibly did not want to see, though.
Well, I mean, logically speaking, we need them, and we need them for Ice Palace. I mean, obviously, the runners can fake flipper to Ice Palace, but logically, you know, it's an item we should find.
But we also know there's something unique in left side swamp.
Oh yeah, that is yeah. Oh, there's second item. Just some cash.
I was about to say, was Hitsuyan counting? Yes, he was.
And Hitsuyan going to make their way into the back of desert here.
Now, Dracarys is saying, yeah, I'm not waiting for you, Vitreous. I'm going there.
Just cornering him in there and then bouncing him off the wall. Poor Vitreous. What did he do to deserve this?
He was a giant eye-sized beach ball. Or beach ball-sized eye. One way or the other.
I would argue the small eyes are like beach ball size. Vitreous himself is like hot air balloon.
Jumbo beach ball.
A blue whale's beach ball. Right, and Dracarys will mirror over. We'll find that indeed the big key is boost locked. But the small key, can be picked up. Oh yeah, PKR luckily is going to pick up their boots. PKR here from the hammer packs. So Dracarys is the only person on here that is not able to clear desert.
And the flippers were in the big chest, so he can't get his flippers yet either.
And it might just be that there's something on those flippers. We don't know, like, either it's swamp chest or one of the flippers checked. We haven't seen any of those either. We haven't been to Hobo or Waterfall Fairy or Zora. At least Dracarys can pick up one of the items here in Desert. And picking up the big chest later on is not that big of a deal. And there's the map.
So something was just brought up, and I'm kind of agreeing with this. How Dracarys is on 7 hearts. Everyone else is on 11 or 12. But Dracarys has probably more dungeon progression, so where are those hearts that he missed?
Did Dracarys... Well, for one, Dracarys skipped the Basement of Terror, which had a full container. And I think maybe Dracarys also skipped Escape, which I think had some hearts. So I think that's where the brunt came from.
Yeah, he took a different starting route, and once he had dungeons available, said, I'm going to go dungeon diving. Which I like to play. It turned out to be less safeties, but you have red mail and 7 hearts. That's probably good enough.
Yeah, I would say, like, the runners here probably won't have much trouble with health for the rest of this run. Hitsuyan going to take these flippers as a hint, and we'll make the various flipper checks here.
Now, Hitsuyan still needs to get the Quake.
That is on the race game. Heart container here on the Zora Latch. Very doubtful that anybody will pick that up.
Pink Kitty Rose is making the pod play.
Yeah, I saw PKR stocking up on a potion to prepare for the potion glitch. Meanwhile, Dracarys is going to check the pyramid.
Now, how much would you be willing to pay for a bottle with a fairy already inside of it?
Not 500?
Too bad, because that's what's being sold for.
Yeah, I'd rather pick up that bee from the bumper ledge. Thank you very much. Right, let's see if Pod is bow locked. While GamerCal takes down Colster and they're in here.
Now, Dracarys went and checked Pyramid Ledge, saw that was only a big 20, and is now going to do the escape sequence.
Yeah. There was, right. There was a heart container uncle, and I think there was another one somewhere in the escape sequence. And pot is indeed bolocked, so, wait, is it? Yeah, okay, it is, yeah. I brain farted on the doors there. So, yeah. Pot is bolocked, which means that we're gonna see a bottle glitch out of PKR here. Hit the shoveling and its tower.
That's one fetch quest we don't have to worry about.
Possibly. Hopefully. I mean, it's good to know should we need it, you know?
And there's a successful bottle glitch.
And behind the bulwark side, we have, other than a key. Let's see here what the second chest holds for us. Another key. So in the front of pod, there have to be at least 4 keys. If you pick up 2 items out of the front, you know that every other chest is a key. And yes, we do need the bow to get to the boss. So that's the second chest with an item in it. So PKR will know that all the other chests in the front half here of pod are gonna be keys, and can skip them and use the other keys accordingly.
And Gamer Cal just got his red cane, but he does not have ether to go into Mire. For Pink Kitty Rose, I think the best thing that she can find over here in Pod is probably the Fire Rod.
Yeah.
So if you find the Fire Rod, you know the bow's not Fire Rod locked. And since Skull Woods is a pendant, then that means that the bow cannot be on the pedestal.
Yeah. I don't think any of the items... No, both, I mean, both still can be on the pedestal, but if we find a fire rod in here, yeah, then it can't be. And there's our 4th sword, which means that PKR will not have to pick up the one from the graveyard ledge.
It's a nice find, but I'd rather just get the one off a graveyard ledge. Well, no, wait, you still need to find the big key, so... still
I don't know, PKR did find the pot big key. That one was in the... Which chest was it in? Wasn't it in the dark hallway chest down there in one of the 2? I think it was. And our cars finally will be getting their boots from the hammer packs here.
With all the ground our runners have covered so far, I'm thinking more and more that Swamp Palace may have our bow.
Yeah, it's starting to look like that, isn't it?
A unique item in the left side. Either the bow or the fire rod. If it's the fire rod, yeah, we're in for some questing.
I mean, it can be virtually anything that's in there. It might... I mean, we've seen the single arrows, it can't be that. But it might just be the mushroom or the book.
But those are more fetch quests.
Yeah.
It can't be the shovel, because the shovel's up again in tower.
At least we know that much. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, between all the runners, I think we've seen all the items except maybe a bottle, which can't be the unique item. And,
well, no, there's 4 bottles.
Yeah. It's true, and so it could also be the blue boomerang for all we know. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
It could be the bug net.
We already have the bug net.
Oh, I must have missed that. Okay, blue cane then.
Yeah, it can be anything really. It's hiding over there.
Of course, the worst thing is that the fire rod could be on the shovel, and the big key for Gan's Tower is on the right side.
Ah, that would be painful. So looks like Dracarys is gonna make a graveyard ledge check here. I think Dracarys did get the hints. Also, Boots locations on the way, but I think Dracarys did get the hint, but hasn't, of course, picked up the Tempered in Pod. Doesn't even know that there's a Tempered in Pod. So, they will pick up the Tempered Sword there on the way through those various locations.
And Pink Kitty Rose had a unique little glitch there where they're in the water walk state, and they open up the left chest of the waterfall cave, and it was a piece of heart that gave them a full heart, and because of that, it dropped them in the drink in the middle of the cave.
And there's the next bottle here for PKR.
Hitsion's tried to keep Vitreous cornered over there. Didn't work out quite as intended.
Vitreous? We're not an randomizer here.
Cold stare.
Eye bosses, I know.
Wait, it's the festive randomizer. There's Vitreous under there.
Right, so the swamp is looking more and more likely at this point.
It would have been nice if there was a hint saying something required the green pendant, which is a thing.
That is true, yeah. It can say that something is possessed by the sage or something. I think one of the hints can be that a sage has an item, which can. I'm not sure if Agina counts for that or if it's just Sahasrara.
I know there's one specifically for Sahasrara's closet and one specifically for Agina's cave. I think Agina is hermit and Sahasrara is sage.
Right.
And then there's also item requiring green pendant and item requiring 3 pendants.
Yeah, that's the pedestal.
And Hitsion is going to make that swamp dive.
So, chat pointing out that Sahasrara is the village elder in the hint text. Thank you, chat.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, he is the elder of Kakariko, isn't he? And just goes out doing things in Eastern for some reason.
Pink Kitty Rose just got ether.
And Gamer Cal is about to get ether as well. And we're seeing Hitsuyan making the swamp play here.
Getting his bombs in a bottle hint for the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it's always good to know that the Pyramid Fairy doesn't have any progression, even though we know at this point, since Bow is the proper go mode item, unless the key's on the right side, that that the Pyramid Fairy can't have our go mode item.
Now, we've also mentioned the possibility of needing the Fire Rod for right side Gan's Tower. It is one thing to note that it is possible to use a bomb jump to light that torch. So if our runners know that, they absolutely won't need that fire rod unless they have to go into one of our pendant dungeons.
Yeah, though I think by the logic, it doesn't require that. I think no bomb jump is required per logic at all.
That is correct. And so we don't have a bow, the next best idea for land bow is fire rod. Barring that, ice rod, anyone?
Yeah, the ice rod actually deals the same amount of damage as the fire rod does. So, and you can spam it. So that's pretty cool. If Lamolas lines up, you can 2 hits with the ice rod, spam, and down it go. Down one of the worms goes. So always worth noting some of the weapons that can damage bosses that normally you wouldn't use if you had like the option. So Argus also can be done very swiftly actually with Ice Rod, for instance, because unlike the Fire Rod, which only can have 2 shots on the screen at a time, the Ice Rod you can just spam, and you can basically corner Argus and like keep him stun locked.
Argus, we only got one runner in Swamp Palace right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Unfortunately, we still haven't seen that bow, but here comes our unique item.
Our left side item. It's the fire rod!
Womp, womp, womp.
Ooh. Yeah, and the cash. That is not something you want to see at all.
So, Turtle Rock's clearable now.
Yeah. But Hitsuyan does not have Quake yet, and I'm not sure if Hitsuyan ever saw that Quake is the medallion for TR, so I think Hitsuyan's probably gonna just hold clear Swamp here, and gonna hand in the Green Pendant, and then weigh their options and see where to go from here.
It would be nice to see the book, I think.
Make a pet check just in case.
If there's at least one item in Skull Woods, then yeah, you make Skull Woods your next check with that book and see, do I have to clear everything?
Yeah. I mean, also like from here, you can also quickly go to the bombs tablet since it's like basically right there, and can attach that one. And the ether tablet also is, if you have to go to TR, which is starting to look likely, that might also be an option.
Or the boat could just be right there.
Yeah, there it is, and we are in go mode at 1 hour and 8 minutes and 30-something seconds. Hitsuyan in go mode has everything they need. Wonder if they will go and grab that tempered sword off the graveyard ledge, because they're probably gonna just straight up go mode everything from here on out. So Pod would probably not go through the dark maze to get a tempered sword in there.
You never know. He might go for the hammer up, because sometimes the big key is back there.
That is true. But the big key is in the dark hallway, as far as I remember. So, well, depends on how Hitsuyan is gonna route this.
So, Hitsion being the first in Go mode, Dracarys I can only imagine is going to be close by. They are both on 5 crystals and Go mode, Eastern, and Pod. So, we'll be getting against Tower in short order.
Yeah.
And Gamer Cal's not even giving Vitreous time to get out of his goo.
Yeah. Poor Vitreous here, getting bullied by all these runners.
But all he wanted to do was give him a hug.
How do you hug somebody without arms?
Improvise. And Dracarys is getting blocked over here by the dead rock.
I wonder where Dracarys is going.
Oh, did he not get the bow? Oh no!
Oh no, Dracarys! Why? Dracarys got the fire rod and immediately thought, screw this, I'm out of here. I'm gonna do Trouble Rock. Oh man, that is heartbreaking.
That is the worst. That is the worst feeling when you get progression and you're like, oh, I'm going to follow this progression trail, and there was more progression just a couple rooms in.
Yeah, I don't really like. I know some runners like to go into independent dungeons and be like, oh, there's progression now. I can mirror out, but Swamp has a lot of items. 6 items in Swamp itself, and of course the green pendant, which makes it 7 in total. So, I'm not sure that was the right play to make, even if you want to skip out on things.
And there's our purple chest hint. Just some cash in the purple chest.
I think at this point all of the runners did it anyway, so
yeah,
very useful hint there.
And there's not even going to be a sword back here.
Yeah. So, Dracarys is gonna do Master Sword Trinex, which is not an easy fight, dare I say. Unless, I'm not sure if they picked up the Mimicate hint, that it's just rubbish in there. Gonna be basically full clearing all of it, and there's gonna be nothing in there.
And depending on how recently he saw that hint, he might have forgot it, or it might just be in that one item away. Where's that last item? Where's that last item?
Yeah.
So right now we've got Gamer Cal heading to the back of Desert Palace. He's about to get his 5th crystal. We got Pink Kitty Rose over in Swamp, about to get the Fire Rod. Hopefully stays in for the bow. They're also on 5 crystals. Hitzion on Helposaur King in Go mode, about to get his 6th crystal. And Dracaris, please leave Turtle Rock.
As far as I know, PKR as a runner, she does like to clear dungeons when she's already in there. So you know, it's very likely that she will resume, or maybe she's thinking about it. Should I? Should I not? No, I'm gonna. Woo, making us sweat bullets here. Please don't. No, PKR, please. No!
Oh.
Ah.
That hurts watching that.
Yeah, well, at the very least, it's very interesting actually because GamerCal and Hitzion have been kind of doing the same game plan, while Dracaris and PKR both have been also doing the same game plan as each other. So very interesting here.
Now, I will note, so far, we haven't had any finishers, but we have had a couple of forfeits from this race.
Yeah, I can understand that. This seed has been very, very strange.
And we got Pink Kitty Rose in Turtle Rock as Dracaris is about to face Trinex and get the unfortunate news.
And we're on Trinex. Dracaris soon will find out that there was absolutely bloody nothing in here. And PKR in a few minutes will as well, and that is very sad.
Now, Hitzion with those silver arrows making quick work of the Armos Knights, and I believe we have a little game we'd like to play, don't we?
Yes, indeed we do. Now that we've collected all 7 crystals, we can access Ganon's Tower. And here on the Speed Gaming network of channels, we like to play the Ganon's Tower Big T game. As Hitzion makes their way up the Death Mountain here. Or is he? Is Hitzion not realizing he's in Goma? Oh no, he's grabbing the sword from the graveyard ledge. That's right. Right. Sorry about that. That was confusing, but yeah. So Hitzion is going to ascend Death Mountain shortly and going to Ganon's Tower. And in Ganon's Tower, in order to get the big key, there are 22 different locations. And we like to play a guessing game and see which number is going to be the big key. So, since this is a weekly, we are not going to use the bot, but we're still going to play for fun. So, Dark Shadows, what are you guessing today?
You know what? Let's go 21.
21? That is sadistic. I like going for Bob just because I just love Bob.
So I know sometime last week we actually had a winner on the Big Key guessing game on a 14 that was a tile room. So, at least we know your intention for this guess. I'm just saying 21 because of the way this season's been going. Also, yeah. Lost train a little bit there, but Hitsuyan's about to head into Ganon's tower here.
So Dracarys has realized that, you know, TR was empty. I think we got both of the items out of Skullwoods. Please don't tell me there's something in Swamp. Is probably what's going through their head right now.
Gamer Cal. Oh boy. So Gamer Cal got the fire rod and then brought up the menu. He hasn't left yet.
Yeah, I think Gamer Cal just realized that maybe I should clear Green Pendant Swamp here. Lots of items. I'm still looking for the bow. Green Pendant is an extra item.
Also, he didn't go back for the other chest, so either he's chalking it up to a lost cause, or he remembers the hint saying that there was a unique item and cash.
I'm pretty sure that Gamer Cal remembered the hint there. Right, so when we have bombs on torch, so that is item number 3. Dracarys is gonna make the pot player friendly.
If he hasn't checked the front of it.
Yeah. So there's 4 and 5.
And Gamer Cal's got a bow.
Excellent. So Gamer Cal, 1 hour 22 minutes and some change. Go mode for them.
Now, actually, I'm pretty sure I saw Dracarys over in Swamp House again. I think he got the bow.
Yeah, he did get the bow. Oh, that's right. Dracarys is in go mode. I'm very forgetful. I'm sorry, chat. I'm an old man. Have mercy.
Well, Pink Kitty Rose just got the bad news that Turtle Rock was a dud.
Right, so Randy Room, what do you have for us today? The blue boomerang.
The best boomerang.
Indeed. The no lag meringue.
So, did Hitsuyan check the 2 chests on the left yet?
Hitsuyan went to the right first, but did not go. Yeah, did not go to the right room with the torches, and went straight for the left.
And Pink Kitty Rose just turned in that mushroom and more money.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Bob. Oh wow, disrespectful here. Trying to powder Bob. This we cannot stand for this. Right, so we're gonna go for ice armors here.
With all the money we've seen, I'm surprised our runners haven't broken 1,000 rupees yet.
Yeah. Well, we only saw like mostly big 20s. We haven't seen all that many higher amount rupees. There's a mirror shield. And there's the big key. So that was...
I believe that was 16.
Yup, that was 16. You're right. And it looks like the closest one was Halloween 7 with 15. Congratulations, you can pat yourself on the back. And with that, Hitsuyan is going to make their way up the tower and will be momentarily entering the gauntlet.
Now, since Hitsuyan has the mirror shield, he could have just faced those red mimics and blocked the fireballs. But to be honest, how often do you get up here with mirror shield, and do you really want to get up here with mirror shield?
Honestly, I really don't like the mirror shield. Like, it's kind of useful in some cases, but I don't like it because it obscures Link's shadow, and I use the shadow to align myself for bomb jumps. So I really don't like it.
Plus, it doesn't even block the lasers from Abimos. I mean, how do you have
Yeah,
a shield that big?
That is like the most like it's like false advertising. The mirror shield, it reflects stuff, and then only stuff that comes out of the laser eyes, not the BMOs. What do you even have this for? BMOs are the more annoying part.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference between an I-beam and a BMOS beam?
Right? Well, a color. One is yellow and one is red, but yeah. And Zero Cycle Lamo's 2-fight here on Hitsuyan's side. Very clean with the silver arrows. Gets a clutch fairy here out of the first Samaria room. And just barely misses the one cycle second whisper room. Meanwhile, two people on Telesar, one just taking them down, the other just entering the room. Drakari is picking up the compass and their 6th crystal, while Gamercal about to do so as well.
Yeah, we got a virtual high five here, almost raising the crystal at the same time. It looked like a much quicker fight from Gamercal.
Yeah, I think Dracarys' Helmasaur didn't cooperate all that much. And it looks like PKR also found their bow finally. It's also in go mode now at this point. It's gonna be a bit of a tough time for PKR to catch up with the other two that are ahead of them, Gamercal and Dracarys, which are basically neck to neck. So we can at least expect an exciting race from them. The only way that there could be some time made up is if both the cars and Gamercal go to right side, but not full right, just to the torch room on the right side, grab those 4 chests there, mirror, and then go to the left side. And if PKR goes full right, that could catch them up to the other two.
Now, Hitsuyan just has the wizard and the big pig to kill, and he'll be done. And we still don't have any finishers.
Well, let's see how well Hitsuyan paid attention in math class here.
Patterns not being entirely favorable.
Yeah, this pattern is a bit rude. This one might be good. Yeah, that was a nice triple. Yeah. And with that, pig goes down, the bat comes out, the wizard goes down, the pig comes out, transforms into a bat, and I don't know why, it's probably like Lord of the Rings, the Eagles in Lord of the Rings, suddenly the duck comes through the duck world and carries us to the pyramid. And we are on the first Ganon fight here on the stream. That was a... I've never seen that getting close before.
I imagine V30 probably added a few. And Hitsion already on phase 2.
With Hawk Magic, the cape... Oh, Hitsion got the gold sword? No, he didn't. Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, that looked... That gold looked mysteriously like bacon.
That can happen. Track is softer sometimes is a bit pig-headed. Pun very much intended.
Boo. And he tried to get the torch glitch with the fire rod. Unfortunately, just missed it.
Yeah, but luckily, not that big a deal. We have silvers. We had silver since the very start, even. So, you know, half magic, silvers. There's really not much else to say. Man, bacon, indeed. And speaking of bacon, Hitsuyan makes himself some blue bacon, defeats Ganon. Now he just doesn't have to fall down the bridge, and that's GG. Meanwhile, Dracarys and Gamerkel both virtually synced here, entering Ganon's tower.
I would like to note the difference on their swords, though.
Oh yeah, Dracarys does have the Tempered Sword, while Gamerkel is the Master Sword. That is true. Gamerkel might be thinking not worth wasting time picking up the Graveyard Ledge Sword, or maybe even never got that hint, while and banking on there being a sword in Ganon's tower, which we know is not the case. Oh, there's the blue cane.
Yeah. But Hitsuyan has finished in 3rd place with 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 13 seconds as the official time. 1st place we had Chisame with a 1:29.27, and 2nd place Salty Fry with a 1:30 with an hour 30 minutes flat.
Right, GG's to both of them. GG to Hitsuyan. Let's see if we might be able to get them into the Discord for an invite, for an interview. Invite them into Discord for an interview. Looks like Dracarys decided to steal a key from the left side and go right again. Interesting.
If Dracarys goes straight right, this will be a decent advantage.
Yeah, it would be a time if Dracarys decides to go full right, because we know that the key is on the Ice Armos. There's some cash, just what we needed. There's the shovel. Aww.
Well, we knew that was somewhere.
Well, it was the fire rod locked site here on Ganon's tower. And indeed, Dracarys goes full right, so Dracarys will save themselves some time here. Burnus dashing through this firebar room.
Well, this right route, it is a bit tricky, so it might not be that much time save at the end. Because Gamercal is already in Rando Room.
Well, I mean, Dracarys already in that dark bridge room, right in front of the room that lets you fall into Ice Armor. So, it was. I think it was a bit of a time save here. Like, not much, because Dracarys had to get some keys out of the Stalfos room first, but.
And we have Hitsuyan joining us. Hello!
Hello guys, GG's.
Hello, GG to you.
So, what do you think about that seed?
Yeah, the seed was very good. The swamp hint leads me to my go mode. Yeah. The only thing that was not good was Hera Basement. I set up a death warp and got the same card.
Yeah.
That cost me maybe the 1st place. That I checked Hera Basement. Yeah.
Yeah,
but the seed was good.
Yeah, it was less than 2 minutes from you to first place. So I would like to make an interesting note here, though. So if you remember, Fire Rod was over on left side swamp. You weren't the only one to find that. Pink Kitty Rose and Dracarys also found that, and the moment they found it, they actually left swamp.
Okay.
Yeah, decided to go for Turtle Rock. And GamerCal probably was thinking it too, because when GamerCal fought the Fire Rod, they opened up the menu and like left us sweating bullets.
Yeah, but I think the play is okay to do that. But that was would be my next play after Swamp.
Yeah.
Sticking it out because there's still items in there, and it turned out to pay off big for you.
What's also kind of interesting is that you never picked up Quake out of the race game, which you think like Mid-Island for Turtle Rock may as well pick it up, but yeah, it never was required after all. So
yeah, I thought that skip that until I don't go in Turtle Rock. Yeah.
Right, so would you like to know where that last sword was, by the way?
Sure.
It was in the Dark Maze of 5.
Okay.
So you were...
Some people potion glitched, or...
Yeah, we saw, I think PKR potion glitched and cleared the Dark Maze. So you were one bomb jump away from not having to do Graveyard Ledge.
I was not really sure about getting the third sword, if it's a time gain or not, but I think with my execution again it's a time game, so I picked it up before going to GT.
Yeah, having to do half the amount of hits on Ganon is usually pretty good.
Yeah, Hammer Sword does make a difference for Ganon there. It's a good item to pick up. So, I mean, right, okay, so I have one question. So, when we walked up Death Mountain, we had a lamp, and we found a sword and a cape. Did you get concerned there before you got the fake out hammer?
Sorry, what? I don't understand the question.
Because it looked like Aghanim was going to be required, but then suddenly the hammer appeared, like in the last chest in Paradox.
Yeah, I was very happy about this. The next step was Aga after Spiral Cave, but I skipped Spiral Cave after finding the hammer, because I checked Spike Cave instantly after Hera. Yeah, I was lucky that Spiral Cave had no item.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like when we saw that you had Gulot had the Aghanim care package, we were like, Aghanim's gonna be required, obviously, and then suddenly the hammer appears, and phew, luckily not. So that was some very interesting like item locations for the seed as well, I do have to say.
I was the first one on right side Death Mountain.
I think Dracarys was first, actually, but like most of you were like in very similar areas at around that time, because everybody was basically checking most of the checks before going up the mountain after finding the gloss in Eastern. So, and both Dracarys and GamerCal have downed Aghanim 2 here, going to go into Ganon. Dracarys very slightly ahead, and since Dracarys has the Tempered Sword, whereas Gamercal only has the Master Sword, probably will expand their lead on Gamercal a bit here.
Yeah, I take that. The win. Yeah, I don't expect that I win. Was thinking
Well-
about PKR. She wins every time, so...
Well, PKR is actually the last here on the restream. Lost a lot of time doing pod and TR when it wasn't required. So, yeah, unfortunate for PKR here. Her gambles did not pay off at all, and you did really well. I mean, you were third place and 2 minutes behind the first place finisher, if even that. So, solid regardless.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, PKR was our other runner that made the call to bail after finding the fire rod.
Dracarys cutting it really close there in the third phase as the last set of tiles falls down there, and I was actually kind of concerned there that they would fall. Luckily they didn't, so phew. And Dracarys takes down the pig. Just needs to cross the bridge. GG to Dracarys here.
Dracarys finishing in 13th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 41 seconds. Sorry, that's a tie for 12. Neaterific and Dracarys finishing with the same time.
Wow. That's actually pretty neat. I've never seen a proper tie with the same time. Only draw ruling within 4 seconds of each other, but never seen actually the same time. Pretty cool. Gamercal also finished again in there, while PKR is about to enter the fight.
Yeah, Gamercal finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 8 seconds.
Also crazy that the first finishing on the restream here, Hitsuyan, 10 places ahead of the second finisher, Dracarys.
And it's only about 10 minutes and 26 seconds difference.
Yeah. So basically 1 per minute. Right, and we're gonna have Gamercal join us here momentarily. Maybe Dracarys as well, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, Gamercal, I think what really hurt was just all of the, what was it, like two or three falls on Moldorm. And unfortunately, that's pretty rough to come back from.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Hello there, Gamercal. GG to you. So that was a very interesting seed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have one question for you, because we were very, very concerned. You had us at the edge of our seats there. When you picked up the fire rod in Swamp and opened up the menu, you did consider mirroring out, right?
Yeah, it was a bit of a thought, because I was like, oh no, it's up in TR then. But I was like, no, it could well be pedestal, so just keep going, get the rest of the stuff here, because, you've already left one thing in desert, because I pretty much knew it wasn't in desert at that point. It's like, you got the flippers, you've seen the hint, there's a unique item on the left side of Swamp, just go there. Oh, it's the fire rod? Well, that's literally the last thing I wanted to see here. Great, thanks, game.
Yeah. It was because two of the runners here on the restream, PKR and Dracarys, both actually mirrored out after picking up the fire rod. And
wow,
yeah,
that explains why Pink finished behind me.
yeah.
Is it one of those never, sometimes, always punished moments? You know?
Oh, and Pink Kitty Rose did finish with 1:43.55. So all of our restream runners have finished right now. Pink Kitty Rose finishing in 16th place, right behind GamerCal actually.
So yeah, there were several things about that scene.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of that RuPaul hit. I've got to say, that was pretty good.
We all got a kick out of that one.
Yeah, I figured I probably should have been going Skullwoods at that point, but I was like, well, you know what? I could totally see this scene being something in Turtle Rock at this stage. Let's just do it anyway. What's the worst that can happen? We give the audience a kick, right, for seeing a different bit than everybody else is going, because 90% sure nobody else is going there right now.
Little did you know that half the restream did.
Well, shows what I know.
My favorite moment actually was when you lot were climbing that mountain, and it looked very much like an Aghanim seed because you got the moon pearl, you got the cape, you got the sword.
Yep.
Only one glove, and then the very last chest, finally the hammer, and that was a very nice fake out there from the seed.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was like, right, if I don't find it anything else up here, screw going Agina's cave, I'm going straight for Aghanim at that point, but obviously didn't have to in the end. Was kind of nice, although obviously it was a bit of a train wreck, but it was kind of nice being able to go straight to Tower Hera afterwards as well. Get a couple of hint towers that were in there. Of course, get Sankheart, so I can't death warp out of there. I wanted to do, especially after seeing Boots a lot by Hammer, I was like, right, I want to do Spike Cave after this then. Thanks, Sankheart, can't do that anymore.
Yeah. That was... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Hard Done By is probably a bit of a thing for this seed, but I cannot complain in the slightest after the standard weekly yesterday. So, you know, it is what it is. Rando's gonna rando.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, a lot of the items, other than the bow, were actually fairly on the way. Like, there wasn't any items, I would say, that were specifically super out of the way.
Maybe the boots.
Well, it wasn't the craziest seed out there, but it was a little bit starved at the start, and I guess in the end it came down to doing that pendant Skullwoods play without being able to clear it, which yeah, I have words on that, but you know, it's just not a play that I particularly like at this point because it never works until it does, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like it so often fails. Even at the start of Inverted Seeds it doesn't work that often, and Inverted is basically designed to go Skullwood straight away, and even there it doesn't really work. So it just frustrates me when it actually is the only way that you have to proceed, because it seems like such a bad play most of the time, because you might get 0 items out of there, and it's a pendant that you don't want to clear, and you know, all the usual fun trappings with that. So unless I specifically get something telling me there's a thing there, which I don't even know if you can at this point, like I don't tend to want to do it unless I can clear it.
Yeah. Skullwoods, I mean, at that point, I think there was one item already found in there, so there was only one item as a reward as well. So, I mean, obviously, the next play would have been Turtle Rock for basically anybody because the item density is so much higher. But yeah, luckily for you, the bow was in Swamp Palace, so there's your Gormwood item. Here you go.
Yeah, I honestly was kind of hoping, like, this seems really weird, but I was kind of hoping that would be the bow, and then the GT Big Q was going to be on the right side anyway, because I have not had a chance to use the bomb jump in that room, like, ever, and I really want to do it in one of these seeds, and it was so close to being the seed that could do that too.
Yeah, if you just had
such luck.
skip left side.
Yeah, but when you get a hint saying there's a unique item over there, that's the reason to go Swamp Palace in the first place.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd have probably done the Zora stuff first if I hadn't been told about that. Because who wants to go Pendant Swamp, right?
Yeah, that's true. For what it's worth, Zora had absolutely nothing of worth.
Yeah.
That was I think it was a fairy in a bottle for 500 rupees. So
I didn't get a single safety this whole run. That stupid bee sabotaged me at the end as well. I was trying to catch one of the fairies, and the bee was just like, "No, love me." And so I kind of had to keep the bee. So oh well.
yeah, that was that happened to me as well. Sometimes that is always like you have a fairy. Give me fairy, not bee.
Oh,
I don't want you, bee.
Did you hear where the other two swords were?
I know one was at the Graveyard Ledge, and I debated going for that several times, but by the time I got the bow, it was like, it doesn't seem worth it anymore. I'm going to spend more time getting it than it's worth, but I don't know where the other one is.
The Dark Maze over in Pod.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the
I
bottom.
was so close to hammer jumping that.
Yeah, the bottom chest, I think, even so the one right next to the bomb entry there.
Well. Who needs it, right?
Yeah. Well, you did manage to do bloody well enough with the Master Sword, so you know.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing not being able to get more hits on the second phase with the cape at the top, but I just wasn't able to get the spin charging well enough. It's much more awkward when he's at the very top to cape behind him and get the spins. Still doable, but you kind of want to be there from the start. So that was not the best positioning for it. But I think it was still free cycle for both phases. So that was alright.
Yeah, I think it was.
How about them button mashing strats versus Vitreous? That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I actually a lot of the runners went in with just the Master Sword and just stepped into the goo and put on the cape and just flashed away at both the eyeballs and the Vitreous himself. And we did see a few stun blocks as well, so that was pretty fun. I was actually mentioning how where Vitreous has gotten bullied by all of the runners.
All he wanted was a hug.
Well, he tried to hug me, but no, Deathly Hallow said otherwise.
Right. So I think unless any of you runners would like to add something, we might want to wrap up here.
Yeah, still fun though. Since I'm not doing the 20 stuff at this point, I have not been playing as much of this, so it's a bit more refreshing to actually come in and have a shot at this. And yeah, even if it didn't work out quite so well this time, rando's gonna rando, and it's still decent. Like 142 is not a bad time for a seed, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, with like 150-ish item collection, 100 on 140 is actually pretty good. Yeah, so right. So I guess we're gonna wrap up here. I actually went and checked the schedule. So after this, in about 30 minutes, is it even 30 minutes? Yeah, about 30 minutes from now. About 30 minutes from now is gonna be a inverted fall tournament match of who is it? Dr. Bob-tastic versus Maximum Burnage. That is probably gonna be really cool. So I recommend you stick around here and wait for that to happen. Until then, I would like to thank our runners for being on both the restream runners and of course the entire racers. Thank you very much for running. We couldn't do it without you, and without you we couldn't commentate and track and have fun on stream. Thanks, of course, also to the watchers here at home, the viewers here at home, for watching. We also couldn't do it without you, because without you, there wouldn't be any reason to restream this. And naturally, thank you to our trackers, the Paradox duo, Hydrophobic Walrus and Eternal September, for tracking. Thank you also to Speed Gaming and the restreamers for all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And naturally, last but not least, thank you very much for co-commentating with me today, Dark Shadows. I very much appreciate it and had a lot of fun today.
Hey, thanks, Red Armor. It's been a blast. We had a good race. We had a good time. And thanks everyone for coming out for this as well.
Right. So, with that said, as said, just under 30 minutes, and we're gonna have this inverted race coming up. There are also other races if you just can't wait. There is have been underway for about an hour on Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 3. JTP versus Solsky on 3, and Jet versus Sabotender on Speed Gaming 2. If you just can wait. Otherwise, I really recommend you wait for those 30 minutes until on this very channel right here, Speed Gaming number 4, we're gonna have this inverted race. I very much recommend checking it out if you've never seen inverted, because that's really cool. And yeah, with that, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night, everyone.